Mabuhay. Kamustika, welcome. How are you? This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea here in beautiful Philippines, Davao City. I'm actually outside um, on the porch taking a chance that we're not going to lose the connection here. Um, I didn't announce this because I didn't know exactly when I'm going to be able to do this. And I also don't know when the loud music is going to kick in. So I decided just to start now while things look good. Thank you for 3 people here, lickety split here this morning, just sitting outside on a container for shoes or slippers actually. And here we are. This is the other side of the house, what I'm looking at. And so we can talk about anything today. Obviously, retirement is something that's on the mind of people thinking about coming to the Philippines. And so what I've been thinking about here for the last couple of weeks in earnest is what it would be like to retire here. So today, being outside at the moment, unless these neighbors start playing their music too loud, I'll be out here. Otherwise, I'll have to go inside. But you'll be able to hear some of the sounds if you're going to be in a provincial area where we are. So one of my good subscribers mentioned Filipinos and how they just take things in stride and try to be content with things. And that's important. And that's what you have to do here. It's more laid back, which can be a good thing, you know. You say, well, I'm coming from a high stress environment like the United States, and it would be so nice to be able to come somewhere and relax. Big E in Cebu is live from the Davao. Thank you for joining me, Big E. You're not that far away, I guess now probably just a couple hours by plane, and never been to Cebu. Maybe will one of these days. Right now it's about 7:30. I can never keep track of time. We don't have any clocks in the bedroom, and the ones that I can see seem like they're set up for USA time, so it can be kind of confusing here to even know what time of day it is. Big E is in Makati this week. Hank, what are you disappointed in? Oh, it's 7:18. The music started up about 10 minutes ago, because when we're in the kitchen, the neighbor that's behind the kitchen on that side of the house started the music up, and it was just as loud as it was yesterday, which was louder than in the video 2 days ago. And I thought, here we go again. It's only like 7:30 or something. But then he adjusted the volume, so it must have been set on yesterday's volume when he turned it on. And you can hear it in the background, maybe. It sounds like USA music, like a country song or something. No, I can dig music, you know, that I like, but there's still a volume level that you can be uncomfortable with. So, yeah, I got up this morning, or I should say the roosters actually got me up, and I think it's about 5:30 on the nose when those roosters start in. This time there was multiple ones. The first time it was just one rooster. And Aiza got out of bed early. That's usually my cue to think about getting up. And I asked her what time it was, hon, and she said 6 o'clock. So, you know, I've said before that I always feel like I sleep well here. I think somebody else is starting up some different music. So if it gets really bad, let me know. I can always go in the bedroom or something. And we've got the door tied open here, I think, just to let the cool breeze come in. I don't know what the temperature is here, but for the most part, I mean, it's the end of December, and I've been I haven't had any complaints about the heat so far. Um, we went to the market yesterday early before it would get hot, and then after the sun went down, which is usually 6, at 8 o'clock we went to a carnival. I'm going to have film of the carnival, guys, and the internet speed. I hope everything looks good on your end. The internet speed when it comes to like using the phone, hi Precious, using the phone and stuff like that. Here's one of my nieces. Is good. I'd lay in bed and use the phone. I can pretty much surf YouTube, not YouTube, surf on Google or something like that, and watch YouTube videos. It's the download time of these videos. So we have Globe. I'm very, very happy with it for general use. And Hank says looks as good as Steve Montelli's in Arizona. Well, I guess I'll check it out later. I'm glad to hear that because some I see doing lives in the Philippines, and it's a little bit I don't know, vague, not grainy, just I don't know, maybe it's the quality of the laptop or the camera or the phone. I'm talking on a laptop that I had to get used to using here just for this trip. So thank you, gentlemen, for being here this early. What day is it? Is it you see, you lose track of the days over here. If you're here for an extended period of time, you probably don't know what time it is half the time or even what day it is. Now here, it's December 31st. It's New Year's Eve. Tonight, I'm supposed to stay up till midnight. And we bought some noisemakers after the carnival last night. I'll have video of that one of these days. And but you can bet I'm going to take a nap before we do that. So my wife wanted me to experience Christmas, which we missed because we had to change our flight dates due to work issues for her. And we're going to lose 6 days of this trip. So I'm hoping to make the best of it. So it's the 30th over there, and it's in the evening. And I apologize for starting a little bit earlier, but after my experiences so far, you just never know how much noise is going on, how that's going to affect everybody here. So thanks, Hank. Father Wills, good morning, good afternoon, all. Thanks, Father Wills, for joining me here. It's so if I get on track here, it's New Year's Eve. I think I said Christmas Eve first time. I just woke up. Haven't had many sips of my coffee. Appreciate the thumbs up. That tastes good. So, I was talking about sleeping. I always say I sleep well here in the Philippines. And then I realized this morning I've been here 5 days and I have not had a single dream. So what does that mean? Does that mean I'm nervous, I'm anxious? I can't I have not dreamt. I remember my dreams because back in America, I dream several times a night, and I can remember them. They're usually about work. Almost always, if I dream, it's about work. It's about one of the departments I've worked in. Always been that way. And I have not recalled a single dream yet. Once we hit the sack, I don't really move much, so because I'm just tired. Usually have a little bit of a headache. And but I have not dreamt. So that either means I'm really sleeping powerfully, or it could mean that I'm not sleeping well at all. I had a sleep study done because I have sleep apnea and a CPAP machine, which I didn't bring. I don't bring that to the Philippines. I think it'd just be too much of a hassle and be kind of, the air is not clean as it is in the States. You'd have to change that filter out way too often. Jay Bud, welcome, Jay Bud. You like it? Was getting tired of your basement. Well, don't let Aiza hear that because she takes pride in the way the house looks. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Big E and Cebu, no dreams means you are living the dream. Well, I'm trying to get that vibe, Big E, that this is something I can do for the rest of my life. And, well, we'll see. It hasn't been as bad as I thought, but I've been here 3 other times for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, basically. This will be 23 days. Thanks, guys, for joining in tonight. I'm just talking about maybe some retirement thoughts, and if you guys are here living in the Philippines and you're kind of a veteran like Big E is, feel free to share some tips on retiring here, share what you were concerned about early on, and share if you thought maybe you weren't going to make it or you were negative starting out and it's ended up being actually a positive experience, because there are some big changes in one's life that can happen. And living by far most of your life in one country and moving thousands of miles away to die in another one, that's something you'd like to put some thought into. So Father Will says, remember having 2 to 3 dreams a year. Well, maybe you're living the life too then, but I don't know. It's strange because, I'm not used to sleeping straight through or falling asleep and then waking up in the morning. I always wake up several times and maybe not having a clock. We usually don't have clocks. I have 2 clocks at home because I don't want to oversleep, because I can oversleep. I can hit snooze for 2 hours every day. So I guess it can be hard to wake up, although I tend to be a morning person. Jet lag, Terrence, thank you for joining us, Terrence Traveler. I think so, Terrence, because when we got here in Manila must have been a Friday, left on a Thursday, we slept, as I spit on the laptop here, part of that peanut butter sandwich I gobbled down here. Lots of those here. So I slept 3 hours in the first, 2.5 days, and then I got 5 hours. So I had 8 hours sleep total in the first 3 days, and I was amazed at how good I felt. But I kind of also had a sneaking feeling it was adrenaline, the excitement of being here in Davao in our house. And sure enough, yesterday, I think day 5, I just kind of crashed, took a couple naps, laid down some more, and I told Aiza, I think this is everything coming to a head now, and jet lag, and excitement, unpacking. We brought so much stuff. We had 3 boxes, bulk buy-in type boxes, but they were just extra luggage we purchased so we could bring everything over here. And that took a while to unload, and it's been exciting. We're going to have to unpack or repack everything that we unpacked when we leave here in about 17 days, I think it is. But I think we're at that point where the jet lag finally hit. It's just kind of an overwhelming thing, even though this is not retirement. We may be 62, that'd be 4 years. If my mother lives longer, we aren't going to leave her there on her own. We told her that.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? We've got one of the scooters broke last night after the carnival, and there's a little piece, very small piece that has to do with the brakes that we're waiting for the hardware store to open so we can have somebody run over there. So they've identified it. They know what it is. I think it's going to be an easy fix. We just have to get that part. So they're over there fixing that right now. How long was your flight, Dave Knudsen? Welcome, Dave. Well, we went to Denver airport, which is, they said like hour and a half flight. I knew it wouldn't be anywhere near that long because it never is. It's closer to an hour or so. Then we went there, 3-hour layover, which is excellent. If you're familiar with Denver airport, you're usually running for your life when you get there to get to where you need to go. And I saw people do that. Also saw more dogs than I've ever seen before in my life at airports. What's up with that? I mean, they just looked more like pets. I don't think they were like dogs, seeing eye dogs, the big ones. Lots of small dogs that I saw in the airport over there in Denver. And then the big one was, I say only 11 and a half hours from Denver to Narita Airport, Tokyo, Japan. And that was great. I mean, it was 11 and a half hours, but I saw 5 action movies, didn't sleep. And then we got there and waited, I don't know, 4, 5 hours. And then we got a flight to Manila on a cheaper airline. It's called Jet Air. And they're a discount airline, which we got probably only because we had to change our plans. Very small, cramped, and when you're just coming off major knee surgery, like total knee replacement, that kind of stuff. And still is. It's not gotten any better over here. So that was a discount airline. We had to haul our luggage upstairs, haul our luggage up stair ramp, not a regular ramp, stair ramp to the plane. And there was no electronic thing there to charge your phones up, your devices. There was no screen. I didn't even know if it was in English, so we had no idea how far away we were and stuff like that. That was uncomfortable. Aiza says we're taking the same one back, which I hope it wasn't. So anyway, then we stayed overnight in Manila. I do have some film to show. I just have to get it. It's on the computer, but the upload speeds, I was talking about the computers earlier, are really slow here, like everybody says. Hank says as long as you earn a comfortable monthly income, you'll be fine there. And of course, a good quality woman. Hank is right. There's two things there that he's mentioned. One is the quality of life, some kind of sustainable income, such as Social Security, savings often in the form of something not in the bank so much, but to really earn interest, and you would need to invest it. So whatever you need to do, if you have a place like this, we can easily probably get by the entire family. I mean, just about everybody here on my Social Security. I mean, I don't see people not working just because we retire there. I think that they will continue to work and should to earn a living. And but yeah, I think we'll all be able to be just fine. And it is kind of a mentality of, we've got to think of everybody here since we're living with the family. So we can't just have Aiza and I having our needs met. We need to make sure that everybody else's needs are met too. And I think I have no reason to think that that's not going to work out. Terrence says, well, Filipina's like Lay's potato chips. It's hard to eat only one. Boy, there's always a lot of beautiful women here in the Philippines, everywhere you go. And you have to have that 3-second rule if you're married, which means you allow yourself to look one time for count of 3 seconds, 1001, 1002, 1003. Then you better take your eyes off. But there's eye candy everywhere here. So the one thing is you want to have a sustainable living. You don't want to be miserable. You don't want to be scraping by. And then I think that's the top thing Hank mentioned, is having a good woman. I mean, I was out visiting a cloudy, but and a decent breeze. I've been very pleasantly surprised with the weather so far. Which airport did you fly out of? Flew out of Denver, flew out of Narita, flew out of the only one I know of in Manila. I don't know which one it's called. And we got to Davao International Airport. I think there's another one in Manila. I don't remember what it's called. I could be wrong. About that. So we didn't have to go far for the initial one because we stayed in town. We flew from the Lincoln Airport, so we didn't have to drive to Omaha. We didn't have to drive to Kansas City. Some people, we live in the Midwest, will drive to Kansas City, and maybe it costs a little more there. I don't know, but it does knock off a flight because they can go from Kansas City to straight to Los Angeles, which we can't do from Nebraska. We used to, but they changed the routes. We can't do that. And then from LA to Manila. So I guess we could try that. I'd be afraid to drive 3.5 hours when you've got all that money invested and all that time invested and something go wrong. But that's just me. I'd like to play it safe and fly from the closest airport. Millennials think dogs are kids. Well, I think, yeah, I mean, here in the country, I mean, pets have reached human status, as far as how they're treated, how they're dressed. Pets can get surgery now. I know a lady at work was telling me one day she spent like $4,000 to have surgery on her little pet dog. Boy, that's a lot of money for a pet surgery. Hey, Big Rob, thanks for joining us here. This what in the world day is it? Is it Monday? If it's the 30th in the States, then it must be a Tuesday here. Correct me if I'm wrong, and a Monday night in the States. So, Big Rob, yesterday I watched your fine video from you found your Filipina wife. You're in Abu Dhabi, right? I pronounced that right. So, congratulations to you. I know what you're going through, Big Rob. It's a surreal experience. You have to pinch yourself alone for so long. You find that good woman that Hank was alluding to. That makes it better wherever you're going to stay, wherever you're going to live. Aiza's back. So I'm happy for you. I know exactly what that's like. Big E, what is your alternative for me here? Oh, Hank says, think they're building another airport in the Manila area. Sangli Point, and Cavite. Cavite, we've been to that airport. I thought we were going to go there again, but I'm not sure. We still haven't sat down. What was mentioned, Big E. It's harder to scroll up here. I'm holding this on my lap. I think you said you were in Makati or going to be in Makati. I took some film from Makati after we went to that Venice mall and had that fun ride. Our tour guide, which was a social media friend of Aiza that had never met us before, lives nearby, and they met us at the Mall of Asia and took us to that place in Venice. And then we went to Makati, and I took some film of those buildings. Makati is impressive, very impressive. Now I know when I hear someone say Makati, at least we were in the business district. It reminded me of Chicago. The buildings are massive. The streets are clean. The streets are organized. Where we were, and it was still light, so it wasn't really late at night, I didn't think the traffic was that bad. In fact, I commented, the traffic here in Makati seems like it is here in the States. And the roads are wider, very new, clean sidewalks. Somebody's been taking care of Makati because it looks great over there. So once I can upload, and I was talking about uploading speeds too, by the way. The first 2-minute video I uploaded took like 5 hours. Last night, I don't know how long it took because when we got back from the carnival, it had stopped. So I think a 10-minute video for me would probably be taking at least 6-7 hours to upload to YouTube. And that's the only bad thing. As far as actually using it, looking for information on Google, that's fine. It's pretty fast, but not the upload part. So I've got some stuff to load, but it takes so long. If I loaded 3, 4, 5 videos or even 8 or 9 videos like I've done before at once, that might take till the rest of our vacation. I mean, I don't even want to, I think I'll just try one at a time just so it doesn't take several days to get a whole bunch. YouTube, you can load at least 9 or 10 videos up there at once and walk away. And if you're in the States, it'll probably take less than an hour to get all of them uploaded. Globe Pocket Wi-Fi. Well, the thing about that, Terrence, is, well, even if it worked, I'm not allowed to use a mobile device to do a live. I can't use, those are the YouTube rules. I can't use a phone because that's a mobile device. I can't use what's the smaller ones called? Tablet. Can't use that because that's considered a mobile device. However, a laptop is not considered a mobile device. So I guess if the pocket Wi-Fi would be more appealing over going somewhere, because the airport Wi-Fi is pretty terrible. If you stay in a condo or a hotel, our experience has not been good with Wi-Fi. You know, I went back 3 or 4 times when we got to Manila and stayed a place near the airport. And maybe it works in the well, maybe it works behind the desk, but it didn't work in the lobby for me. It didn't work in the room. It just didn't work. So if the pocket Wi-Fi is reliable, yeah, then the person could take their laptop somewhere and and do it because it wouldn't be considered a. I'm doing the live here. Hi, sweetie. Hi. This is the main reason I'm here. Main reason I'm so content here, and the main reason I think I might be able to survive is my amazing Aiza. So, yeah, that's how I'd have to do it. Bring the laptop over there. I can do Facebook Lives actually, but not as many people watch the Facebook stuff, and I don't tend to put a whole lot on there. But yeah, that Facebook Live is another option. It's just not heavily used by me. But we have Globe. BGC, you're going to make me pronounce this, Hank. It's Taguig, right? Taguig, Taguig, Taguig. BGC, is that Bonifacio Global City? Now, I've been calling it Bonifacio City, but the locals here call it Bonifacio City. They do. That's what I noticed. Taxi driver and my wife and others say it's Bonifacio City. So that's a new one I learned. And I don't know exactly. I mean, I know that Venice place, it's a Venice themed, Italy themed shopping center. And it's in Taguig. I think that's how you pronounce it. You bought that house, Bob. Was it expensive? We're still paying for this house, so it was expensive for most houses here in the Philippines, and I mean we'll have it paid off in a couple of years. But I mean, when you're not 59 and a half, if you're lucky enough to have your pension, you can take money out and it can grow, but you're going to be hit with a 10% penalty, which you want to avoid. And you're also going to be hit with all of your federal taxes that has not been taken out yet. And then you're going to have to pay in state tax. And so whenever we take money out, we have them hold out extra. It's quite a bit. So it's a big penalty to take money out. But, you know, the loan was, I don't remember what the figures were, but we did take out a loan for it. We could pay it off, but you kind of want to manage your taxes. At least the financial advisor is saying, you know, that's kind of be nice to take some more out next year or something. So, you know, we don't, I guess, get killed in taxes. But that's what she helps us with is the money thing. So, yeah, it's our house. And I was starting to say earlier, if you, those people that are retiring in the Philippines, again, please chime in with your thoughts on Philippines, living here full time. And I looked up and now I lost my train of thought. It's gone. Train of thought is gone between the noise and the distractions and just getting up. All right. So, yeah, the house. I like it. It's a big house. I don't remember now. See, it was a coffee. If you have a house paid off, then you don't have to have that normally significant cost for your total budget. So I'm sure we could just Aiza and I don't know why we couldn't live here for under $1,000 a month since we have no house payment. We won't have any house payment. Now I can tell from being here that there's certain things that might need to be fixed. We're having some trouble with shower leaking, which one of the builder was here just the other day. I think he thought it was kind of earthquake related because after a shower, even if you don't use a lot of water, we have to mop it up, and that's not what we want. So Aiza, I noticed this morning, said she was going to buy me a hot water heater.
Sure, I will.
So I appreciate that, hon. But you know what? I'm just starting to get used to the cold water. What I do is I take that, turn on the water just a little bit and get the washcloth real wet, get the bar of soap, and get the whole thing wet. Then you can maybe spray some of that water on you to start, and then kind of cover your whole body, get your hair wet, get that shampoo in there, Then put the water on, not too full, so you can kind of just stand under and get certain parts and just rub your skin like crazy to. I guess that helps it stay warm too. I mean, the water is not freezing, but I think I've developed my cold shower technique here. It has not been that bad. John Thomas, good morning to you, John. Appreciate your comments here and some of the other videos. By the way, everybody, I know there's comments in the held section, but since I'm doing this now, I'll have to get to those comments later. I do want to respond. I try to respond to all the comments. I'm not big enough that I can just let that go because I can get to them. But right now they're being held, and I got to go in there and look at them one by one. And usually there's nothing bad there. So I will get to those comments. I've noticed, even though I've set it up on YouTube to have me look at every comment, because there are trolls that come through. Certain people, it seems, can get through all the time, and certain people can get through half the time, and then other times it gets held up, and I have no idea why. And we have a stray dog visiting us here inside the gate. So maybe everybody's familiar with him already. So good morning to everybody here. Hank says, have you been to Jack's Ridge? I have not been to Jack's Ridge. It sounds like it could be an eating place, a restaurant, or it could be a resort or something like that. So please fill me in, Hank. I'm not familiar with that. Now I got to go back up here. Terrence says the phone companies have the best Wi-Fi. Your videos will load faster. Just go to local phone stores. You're looking around, they will allow you to use their Wi-Fi. Using Wi-Fi's at the phone stores. Well, yeah, that would be useful, if you need to communicate to someone, call someone. And, to do a live, though, it can be an hour or two or more. And that, they're working on the scooter or the cycle over here. I can't really tell by this angle if you can see anything. There we got a couple precious Filipinas here.
Hello, good morning.
Magandang umaga. Baby shark. Aiza makes her first Philippines live stream appearance. Those toys actually light up. We bought them last night at the carnival. Bought some noisemakers too. I had the thought when they were practicing with those noisemakers, since one of the neighbors was blasting the music yesterday, we should all go over there sometime and blast those noisemakers all at once for like an hour. But no, you don't want to retaliate. They've been good so far. I can't tell if the music's coming from straight in front of me or back there. I think they might be quiet right now. So appreciate everybody here tonight. This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea, live from our home in Davao City, Philippines. Yeah, thanks, Terrence. I know my wife had a pocket Wi-Fi a few years ago. I thought that was quite a clever invention that somebody had. Comments have a 45-second delay. 3:48 now. A delay on a live stream. Just want to make sure I don't miss anything here. Dave Knutson, Bob, one of the problems I've heard of living there full-time as a foreigner is having friends to talk or hang out with and get that lonely feeling. Oh, Dave, thank you for bringing that up. Because, if you aren't here with the Filipina, somebody you can build a future around, I would think that would send me right back home. There are a lot, if you watch the last couple of videos I did on things to adjust to, there are a lot of things that individually, maybe they're tolerable, but you start finding 4 or 5 at once, and then it starts gnawing away at you, and then you kind of question whether you can do it. But the loneliness for me, this is why I say I'm not one of those guys that could go to the Philippines by myself and just strike out, get my boots on the ground, as they say, and go to the mall or anywhere and just introduce myself to a Filipina, because, boy, she'd have to show me around the whole time. I need Aiza to get around here. And when she's here, I don't feel alone. I would feel, I guess, alone isn't even strong enough. I'd feel isolated, alone, scared, because once you've experienced, at least from where we go, it's 4 flights to get here. It's like 30, usually 24 to 26 hours of flights. That's as fast as it's going to go. And then you add up about 10 or 12 hours of layovers. It's a day and a half. And when you're that far away and you don't know anybody either, that would be tough, because, well, you don't know who speaks English or not until you find out. Not all of my wife's family is comfortable speaking English, but there's gestures we can make so that we are communicating just fine. And that would be tough. So if the person can do it, if a person is more of a, I don't want to say lone wolf, but if they're more independent and they can function that way, they can come here and enjoy it and look around for that good woman that I think makes everything easier. But the loneliness, if it's going to be full time, if it's going to be full time, probably somebody would really work hard, go out of the way to know people, even if it's kind of out of their comfort zone and maybe they tend to be shy. I think they would go out of their way to try to meet people, just to try to make sure that they aren't lonely. Of course, you want to make sure you meet the right people. That's a good point, though. Because it's like Aiza coming here. I mean, she knew me and my mom and my aunt, nobody else. And she's on the shy side, but she met 5, 6 Filipinas in the States, and she has other friends who are not Filipinas, and they have a good relationship, and it's very satisfying to me as her husband to know that she is not lonely, because she can't rely on me to always be there, and she needs friends, girlfriends, friends her age, friends that are a little older. It's good, it's good for her. But good comment, Dave, very true. Hey, Michael and Heidi. Whoops. Starting to spray some plants here. We got a lot of beautiful plants here around the house. I think they get watered every day. And is it okay if I do this here?
What?
Is it okay if I do this here?
Well,
You want me to go inside?
You get disturbed here.
Huh?
You get disturbed here.
I disturb you, or you guys disturb me?
We're disturbing you here.
No, you're not. You're fine. I just don't want you to think I'm being inconsiderate now that there's so many people around.
What? I don't want to intrude you there.
You're not. You're not. I can go inside. It's just a little more boring. We've got some housework, I guess. Will this Wi-Fi last when I go over here?
Yeah.
You think so?
Just go sit down there.
I mean over there, outside.
You want to go inside?
Outside.
Or outside?
Will I lose connection?
Yeah, you might. Just stay.
I don't want to lose connection.
Why don't we stay in the...
Yeah, we'll go in the living
Why don't
room
you
here.
go in the living room?
Yeah, we'll do this from the living room. Except now I don't know where the lights are, because lights are always on. Sweetie, where's the lights?
Back at the door.
Hold on here, guys. This is the first time I've really sat in here. It's been most of the time out in our big hallway. Where's the lights? That's not working. This is working. Let there be light. So, where should I sit? I'll sit over here, I guess. Sorry for the inconvenience, but it's the morning. They're working on the scooter brakes. Hope you're still there. And they're starting to water the plants and kind of clean. It's dusty most places. So Aiza and her family like to keep a clean house, and they've been living here and they appreciate it. And they're keeping it nice and clean. So I'm just getting out of the way there so they can do their work. Now, Terrence says my videos load as fast as 10 minutes using the phone company's Wi-Fi. Well, you usually do lives, though. You talking about uploads, Terrence? This is the first live I've done here, and I imagine that's going to be like it is in the States, where you just have to let it process a little bit, pick out a thumbnail or make a thumbnail, tags, description, stuff like that. So it's not complete when you're done, but it's mostly complete when we're done. John Thomas says, you guys have a full house there. That can be nice or a headache. Full house. Wasn't there a movie, television sitcom or whatever made called that, or Full House, or Eight is Enough? Maybe they're both a name. So yeah, it's this is New Year's Eve. So we're just doing some cleaning. I had some, we didn't have breakfast together this time, but we've been eating together, about 10 of us, 2 or 3 times a day here, which is kind of nice. As far as the loneliness aspect of it, and I appreciate the thumbs up here, I'm not lonely with Aiza here. I mean, I've known her for now, we've been married 4.5 years, still kind of getting to know each other in the sense of, as you know, we got married very quickly, 54 days, but it just takes being together in multiple situations that you cannot prepare for, that you learn about each other and you make adjustments necessary, and you try to have that long range view of life. There's going to be temporary irritations and things like that, and you just try to maintain your composure and your patience and get through it. I mean, I'd be glad to always talk on my channel about the difficult parts of a relationship, because you're going to face them. There's no perfect woman out there that you're never going to have to make changes to. Like I've been making these videos on things you have to adapt to. Living in a foreign country like the Philippines, for us, there are many adaptations that need to take place within that relationship with the Filipina. So you kind of constantly need to be kind of malleable so that you can adjust to the situation, whether it's another country. Thank you for the thumbs up. And the woman, because the very worst thing I think a person could do, going to another country or marrying a Filipina, is being set in their ways. And as we get older, that's kind of a scary thing, because we almost feel good being set in our ways. Thank you for the thumbs up. But there has to have adjustments made, and it may be uncomfortable at first, but you just tell yourself, this is a good thing. I have some warts in my own personality. They're going to show up when I'm married, and if I see where it has done that, I need to notice that, recognize that, and make an adjustment. And we're going to be here living with as we are now. I mean, the dynamics may change a little bit by the time we actually retire. Maybe some people are married and on their own, and maybe somebody else is here. But we've got a 2-year-old, 3-year-old niece and nephew. Another one's probably six or 7. And then, the adults, my amazing Aiza. So, so far so good. My mom lives with us at home, Aiza's idea, but it's good for my mom. And right now it's hard on her that we're gone for 3 weeks. I'm sure she'll be worrying about us. So we got to try to keep in communication with my mother back home, because, she wants to make sure we're okay, of course. So that's one thing we'll have to do. But it's a big house because we have lots of people here, and sometimes we have people in here I don't know. But it's a big place, and Aiza's got a big family, and they can always come in and visit or eat with us. We're fine with that. I want to be hospitable. Hospitality has not been a strong suit in my life. And so this is a change for me, but it's a good thing. I'm fine with neighbor kids coming over here to play in the I don't know what you call it, the driveway area. We do have a carport we built. It covers all the scooters and stuff, and it'll fit a couple of cars in there pretty easily. So I think we'll probably change, have a car when we retire. The Wi-Fi would stretch that far. Father Wolf says I could live for 2 months before noticing I was alone. Oh man. Well, then you're going to be able to be here, and you may live here already, Father Wolf. Let me know if you're here. Are you thinking about retiring here someday? That would be hard for me. I'm not one of those people that what they call them not introverts but extroverts, where they tend to feed off of other people being around. I prefer to be by myself because then I can get my thoughts together. That's very important to me, to kind of put everything back together at the end of the day, make sure things are right and going the right direction. And I don't know, sometimes I can feel bothered if I have to be around a lot of people. And that's just my general bent, but that doesn't mean it must stay that way, or that's even a great thing. So it depends how severe it is. So I do need to make that change and accept having other people around. The good thing is other people around our family. So we were talking about loneliness earlier. Aiza's here, her family's there. We're familiar with each other. Now being this is the fourth time I've been here, we can move from familiarity to getting to know each other better and being more comfortable around each other. So fortunately for me, I'm not going to feel lonely here. And eventually I'd like to meet some locals. I'm hoping to meet Bill from Philippines On Demand next week, because he's pretty close to here. Wouldn't take more than 20 minutes to visit, I guess. And so having some neighbors would be nice, but that's kind of way out there in the future. Right now, I'm just trying to see if I can mentally keep it together, and if I'm not going to be fussing and complaining all the time, because that's not going to help. So far, so good. If the music is not terrible, I'm fine with it. I like hearing music. I've said before, I would listen to music 24 hours a day.
They're just the neighbor at the back.
Yeah.
They're just they don't end up.
I was just saying the one that was getting carried away with the music, is not going to be a long time tenant anyway. So that's good, but a little low, because when I came to the Philippines for the first time in 2015, there was always music.
The owner of the house.
Letting them stay there for a short while. There was always music around, but it wasn't loud. It wasn't overbearing. You just hear music everywhere. The malls, the stores, the neighborhoods. And I liked it because I like to hear music. But when it's type of music I would not, pay to listen to or buy, and then, it's at jet plane takeoff levels for decibels, then no, that's just that's getting carried away. Who watches our house when we are back in the States? Hank Hillian says the family is living here. Her papa, among others. So the place is being occupied, and we have our master bedroom, and I think it's kind of doubles as the kids' playroom when we're not here, which is obviously most of the time that we're not here. And so everything's going to get taken care of and upkept and clean and so on. It looks nice. It doesn't seem as large to me as the videos that I have on the channel. When the house was at the house dedication and people are in there. I mean, it's big. It's a big house. It seemed, I thought it was bigger just from the videos, but it's plenty big. And I'm very happy. Aiza, it's the house that Aiza built. She designed it and had to transfer those thoughts to her father and the construction people, and they got it done they started building in sometime in July, because we just got the land in July of 2018, and it was livable in it by January, and that's probably about right as far as the timeline for a house here. Michael says, "Eat some mangoes for me, brother. Philippine mangoes are the best in the world." We were at the, or Aiza was. I mean, I went there too, but I didn't go with them to shop. I'll have video of that too, by the way. It just takes a while to get it all processed, but went to the market, which was insane. And I'm sure they bought some mangoes. I would like to try it, because I can't live on just 5 or 6 things. I am going to have to incorporate some fruits and vegetables, so we need to try that. The sooner the better, too, even though I don't really want to, but we should. Father Wilson in California now. In a couple years, then, thinking about, are you determined? I mean, dead set, determined, Father Wolf's on retiring here? If so, you've got some more time to, like I'm doing here, just to make sure that when you get here, you don't have any regrets. Philippines On Demand. It's a great channel. The guy gets around. He shows a lot of places here in Davao that obviously, if we had more time here, we could go to and see some interesting things. Bill always seems to have a good time. Keep him in your prayers. He's had some health issues that have slowed him down. But yeah, I like his channel, and he's by and large a neighbor now, and we're hoping to meet sometime I guess this week, if it's already Tuesday here, sometime after the 1st of January. Father, we'll just have to go. Have a great trip. Enjoy. We're having an excellent trip, and it's been enjoyable. Kind of another surreal experience, just because we're thinking about. At least I am. Aiza knows what it's like here. She doesn't know what it's like to have me here, living with family, and I don't know that either. But by the time we come back to the States, we'll have a great idea of that, what it's like, where we're going to be living, staying, and where everything is, and not just in the house, but where the house is in relation to the rest of the city, and I won't know how to get around probably because I'm just having a harder time. Everything looks the same here as far as the areas. So that's what I've been thinking about. You guys, if there's anything else you want to talk about, just fire away. John Thomas. Halo is a nice desert that you can get, or dessert that you can get at some restaurant. Is that right, hon?
What?
Halo.
Hello.
Halo.
Yeah.
It's a dessert.
It's a dessert.
Would I like it?
Why you said you don't like it?
I wouldn't like it. Did we have a chance to try it already?
Yes, you did.
Why didn't I like it?
Well, because you said there's a plan. It's too sweet.
Oh, had too much sugar in it, or seemed like it?
There's an ice cream.
Oh, it might have been that.
It's sweet.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about sweet, sugary things, and maybe it was the texture. I don't know that I didn't like. Big E and Cebu. Wait a minute. You're going to be retiring in the USA? Are you originally from the USA and then spending time in Cebu? If I recall, you've been there longer than we've been married, so longer than 5 years, and then retiring in the States. Am I going to buy a motorcycle? We've got plenty of scooters here. I think there's probably 3 of them here between brothers and a brother-in-law. So I won't. That's another thing good thing in our situation, I won't have to be concerned about is getting around. I won't. Well, if we have a car, I think Aiza might be doing the driving. Her night vision is better than I am, and she's already driven here by herself. I have a video on that in the Just Us playlist. So she's done a little driving here in Davao. I don't know that I would be crazy about doing it, but I could. It's just the traffic is absolutely, it's just insane sometimes. And how in the world there aren't more accidents? I said last night, it's a good thing there's no ice and snow here in the streets. There'd be pileups all over the place. But no, we'll have transportation. That won't be a problem. I don't think I would ride one myself because I never have. Uh, and the people that drive these tricycles here, they're really good. I mean, they can go up on slants and angles and just get through the tightest spaces, with a quarter of an inch on the side and not touch anything. So I really am quite impressed with the drivers here. You could also build a sorry store. Family could have their own business and never leave home. I'm not sure where we would put the sorry store, but that's always a possibility. If I could take this outside, there's a lot just next to ours that is available. I mean, I thought maybe we should buy that someday, and then we would have build a place for other people to be. I don't know. It's just a thought. Anytime you see a vacant lot, that lot's vacant right next to us back there. Huh? It's a good place. It's right next to us. This about anything.
Yeah, and not a sorry, because this is the dead end.
Oh well, yeah, we're kind of at the dead end.
Apartment.
Apartment?
Yeah.
What's that?
Apartment.
I know, but I meant like if we were to buy something or build something, we could put a house there. But yeah, somebody could. There's a nice lot there to build. Somebody could, and probably will one of these days. But we're kind of at the end of the alley, so we don't have neighbors on everywhere. So there's not a lot of traffic coming by where we live. Actually, I've seen maybe twice. I've seen somebody come by in a scooter that lives around the back, but there's not a lot of traffic.
2 houses.
A couple houses occupied back there. So from that respect, it's there's not a lot of traffic going around, and we have a little bit of elbow room and breathing room too, I guess, because if you're out there in the streets, you really probably should wear those masks. But here where we are, there's not going to be a lot of travel going by. Big E says, I'm the international director of a New York something corporation in the Philippines is my home base at the time. Oh, I see. So you grew up and spent most of your life in Los Angeles. Are you going to live in Los Angeles? California is getting quite expensive. Everybody says that when I hear about California. Oh, it's so expensive, and it is. And it has been seemingly always very expensive. Based. Okay, yeah, New York-based corporation. So, are you going to visit Big E? I mean, I assume you're married. I mean, you'd probably be coming back here to visit then. But yeah, that's an interesting path. USA, Philippines. Sounds like you have a lot of experience and knowledge about the Philippines, Big E, and then back to the States. Yeah, you only need a window in the sorry store. Aiza doesn't think it's the greatest location though, because we're basically at the end of the alley. It's not a very long alley. I can quickly walk up to the other end. It's not paved, but we have heard that maybe in a year or so we could get that paved. It's extremely bumpy with big rocks and big puddles of water if it rains. But it would be nice if that would be paved one of these days. At night now, I know there's three street lights, the lights on the top of the poles that are working. So that's nice because I'm not sure they were working back in July of 2018. Big E says, once I'm done with working, move the whole herd back to USA. Okay. And if that's well, your wife will have to. Has your wife been to the States? I mean, that's something she's going to have to adjust to. There's always adjustments when you marry a Filipina. She's got to make adjustments too. She's got to make adjustments to the man. She's got to make adjustments to his adjustments as he's trying to adjust living here. She's got to make her own adjustments if she goes to the States. Just the homesickness and all of that is a real tough one. Batchmates, our college classmates. Jay Bud, still here. Good to see you, Jay Bud. Jay Bud, anything you want to ask me about retirement? You're a whiz kid at asking good questions. Hopefully Aiza can see some batchmates while we're here. We've been kind of busy, and I think she went and saw one today. Michael asked Big E, what makes you want to retire in the United States of America? It's a good question. Michael's asking Big E. He's Big E in Cebu. He's going to retire to the States, family to the United States, where he's from. So going from here to there, back to there again. And he's got property and a farm in the Philippines.
I love you. It's my dream.
What, sweetie?
I said it's my dream to live in a farm.
Where?
Plan your own veggies and
fruit. Well, I want your dreams to come true. So we'll work on that. Big E in Cebu, 9 out of 10 expats. You think it's that high? 9 out of 10 expats don't last in the Phils. Do you mean they end up going back, or they stay but they're just miserable? And in that sense, they don't last. And I mean, it's one thing to go with an open mind and come back and say, I just don't think I can do this. I expected this, I didn't expect that, and all in all, I think it'd be better for me to stay where I'm at. Nothing wrong with that, but what would be bad is to move to another country and, have assumptions that are wrong, that everything's going to be fine or smooth, and without realizing that's not the way it is. And today there's so many channels about, expat channels, that a person can learn quite a bit from those channels. Now, marrying somebody, it's not quite as easy to find information on that, which is why I have Love Beyond the Sea. And I've certainly looked at these channels with interest, so I can say, well, what's it like here and what's it like there? But there's nothing like being here and getting used to the sounds and the heat and the shopping and everything is so much more waiting. And that's how it is. And you can eat yourself alive with complaining, or you can just realize, if I'm going to stay here, this is something I'm just going to have to accept. Yeah, most end up disgruntled knuckleheads. We don't want to be disgruntled knuckleheads. Hi, baby precious. Hi, baby shark. So we want to be able to last.
Hello.
Hello. And that's baby shark's watch that mommy I bought her. She likes wearing that one. Oh, baby shark's going to watch TV. So do I need to go in the bedroom? Can I stay, baby shark? Baby shark wants to watch TV. So, yeah, disgruntled. Well, they must have had wrong ideas about what it was going to be like there. Big E says, so we will always have ties to the Phils, but they all want to live in USA and be able to go back and forth. One thing that can be an option for some is to reside in both places for any number of combinations. I haven't talked to Aiza yet exactly about how that, but let's just say you throw out there 50-50. Well, is it feasible to live 6 months in the Philippines and 6 months in the States? What are we going to do with our house for that long? Especially if it's not paid off, or, maybe go back for a month or two and then 10 months here. I don't know. I'm okay with staying here permanently and just going back and visiting once in a while and stay in a Motel 6 or something and renting a car. Then you got to make sure you still have a license and things like that. That, you know, what happens to your license when you leave? Well, I suppose after a while, if it doesn't get renewed, somehow you got to start all over again. Yeah, 90% don't last beyond 5 years. Really, according to the U.S. Embassy study, that's a very enlightening statistic, very sobering statistic. 90% expats don't last beyond 5 years, according to U.S. Embassy study. And that's just for the Philippines or other places. Could be just the Philippines. So they're not prepared. It might be a lack of financial preparation. It might be a lack of just perception, preparation, that they're not sure what they're getting into, or they have illusions of what it's going to be like. But yeah, I don't want to be a part of that statistic. I'm set in my ways like anybody else, but I need to learn how to make those adjustments. Big E, I've been working in and out of the Philippines for 30 years. Wow, seeing the soon-to-be expat in La La Land, but it doesn't last. Not saying it has to be bad. I love my life in the Phils too, but yeah, it's as I said in those last couple of videos I put out, and there's more I thought about that can be an irritation. But look, that's just the way it is. But if they have a good attitude and they just stay out of trouble, they don't. They try to get along and be respectful of the local Filipinos. They have a purpose there. They're not just loitering around and drinking all day and stuff like that. And the expat can certainly, especially if he's with a Filipina, I think that's the big difference right there. Jay Budd, I'm sure a lot of the 90% weren't retired, but guys who had some and went back to their home country when they ran out of money. Could be Jay Budd. But then you're running out of money going back to the United States. That's not a great situation either, because broke. Yeah. The financial. This leg is killing me. I just don't understand. I had my knee replaced. I've got nerve damage. Airports are not been good to me. The airplanes, I should say. Even sitting on the aisle. So irritating. Could be Jay Budd, but for me, I love my situation. Big E says, I want my kids to experience life in the USA too. Yeah, and I know it's like not in LA, but the Midwest, the United States, in Nebraska, a really good. I think the Midwest is. I can't say it's better than other places in the United States, but it's a lot of conservative places in the Midwest. Easier to learn to drive because the traffic isn't like in the bigger cities. The whole state of Nebraska is probably, I don't know, 2 million people, maybe just over 2 million people. You're fine, hon. I just don't want to bother you. Do you want me to go in the bedroom? Huh? Okay, you're not bothering me. Jay Bud, by the way, says he loves doing lives at home because of the bedroom or the living room. He can't get enough of our living room. You still there, Jay Bud? I want to love our situation here too. Aiza is rearranging, nothing new. The living room here. Beautiful, beautiful living room. This is our living room. Aiza's working. That's a big 65-inch smart TV, which is great for karaoke. And hopefully, one day we'll have a big TV. I can keep up with my Nebraska sports teams. I'm going to miss some things about being back home. That's for sure. I guess that's another adjustment. You can't just like get into your car and then you're set to your favorite, sports talk radio, or you can scan the dial for music. That's going to be harder to do if you're not going to be driving yourself around. That's another adjustment. Keeping up with my Huskers. Will be watching the games anyway is going to be tough because over here with this time of year, about a 14-hour time zone difference. I mean, it's not like it's 11:30, the game's on, or it's 6 o'clock at night, the game's on, because it's not going to be that time here in the Philippines. So hopefully I can find a way to watch them live, but I guess it'd be sufficient if I watch the tape the next day, but I'm kind of used to watching it live. And that's something I'm not looking forward to, especially if our teams get good again. I want to be there to watch them, and I don't know how that's going to work out. We'll see. We'll have to kind of share things around here in a way, but I really want to defer to Aiza and her family, since they are the locals, and they're going to be helping me out a lot in different ways too. So we both help each other in ways that we can help each other. Big E says, if you are a conservative in a nutty place like Los Angeles, you would be amazed how rabid the 30% conservatives are who are imprisoned there. Wow. I know there's plenty of unrest in this country, and who knows, maybe in 4 years or so, if we retire here at that time, we'll be happy to escape. I mean, there's problems every country. Expertly furnished in Nebraska, and expertly furnished here in Davao City, Philippines. Aiza bought all of this stuff. Some of it might have come from the other house where we have family still living, but she had 2 weeks, a little bit less than 2 weeks back in January to buy everything, carpets, everything, speakers, the coolers, the furniture, the not the lampshades, the shades to the windows, and the dishes, the pots, the garbage cans, everything. And she worked her little fingers to the bone in 2 weeks to try to get everything furnished here, going back multiple times. So, she's an amazing catch for me. Hank, I'll email you a site to watch college football games. Please do, Hank. I appreciate that. I'd love beyond the sea. The number 4, you at gmail.com. It'll be in the comment section of this video and other videos. That would be helpful, even if I have to watch it on my phone. But then again, we've got laptops, so I could, if it's like 3 or 4 or 5 in the morning here and nobody's up, I would have to just watch in the bedroom or somewhere where I don't disturb anybody. But yeah, live sports, I mean, it's kind of anticlimactic, especially if you already know the result. I'd have to not know the result to make it feel like I'm watching it live. That wouldn't be so bad, but watching it live is better, because I'm the type of fan that when the game's over, I like to, look at the internet, see what people are saying, and listen to the post-game show where the rabid fans are calling in. Especially if you lose, it gets kind of serious. Nebraska, we love our football. We take it very, very, very seriously, and we're not happy that we've been pretty bad for a while. But that's a whole nother topic. But Hank, I would appreciate that link that you have there. Michael and Heidi, I'm still working. In 5 years, I plan to do 6-month rotation until retirement. So that's it. That's another idea. I want my wife to have her permanent resident USA first so she can come and go. Yeah, and that's a good thought. You want to think about your wife and options for her. Aiza's a citizen, where she is. And I'm sorry, not a citizen, but she's got her 10-year green card. I would like her to get her citizenship because then we can travel and easier. If with a U.S. citizenship, you can probably pretty much go everywhere. Without it, and you got to go somewhere to get a short stay visa, and it's more time, more money, all of that. So I know there's not just her, other Filipinas resist the thought of becoming a citizen because that means having to surrender their Philippine citizenship. And that means a lot, that Philippine citizenship. Now, if you're like us, we can go back to the Philippines. It's a very simple process to get it reinstated so that you're a dual citizen. So no problem there. But there's a big mental hurdle for Filipinos to get over when it comes to giving up that citizenship. Because if she's not likely to be coming back to the Philippines to get it back, she's not going to want to become, a U.S. citizen. I mean, I just want to brace you for that real possibility that she'll just say, I don't want to. And a lot of that will be, I don't want to surrender mine, country pride. And I can understand that. But if you can go back to the Philippines, you can get it right back, which is what we would do. If we can come back one more time, let's say a couple years from now, if she were to be a citizen, she could get it reinstated at that time, and then I'd be happy too, and we could travel easier that way. I still want to go to Italy one of these days. That would be kind of cool. So Michael has a plan already, and it's never too early to at least start considering options. Big E in Cebu, with all the problems in the USA, it's still the best country that I've been to. I've only had a few countries that I didn't like. Who would have thought? I mean, I'd be spending what could be 60 years in the United States and then ending up retiring and for the rest of my life, basically coming to die here in another country, which I would never do without that woman there in the background. And because she changes everything, having a Filipina here that knows the lay of the land, knows how things are, knows how to protect you from, I guess, getting taken advantage of or stolen from or whatever, can teach you a lot of things here about the Philippines. Having a good woman here is very, very, very rewarding. We could still visit the USA. I mean, if she's got more years to develop some friendships, maybe she'll want to go back, once every year or two for a month or two and spend time with her friends. That's fair. I have not seen many places in my own country, my own state. I was thinking about that the other day. Well, I feel guilty when I come to live here, look back and say, hey, bud, you lived 60 some years in this state, in this country, and you didn't see a whole lot of places. And then you're going to go to another country and see a lot of places. Well, I never wanted to travel anywhere, by myself. With Aiza around, we've gone to some places, and we still may before we retire. But you can't do everything, and you don't know everything. You don't know how the future is going to unfold. So the thing is, you just make peace with your decision, what you're leaving behind. Hey, Papa, Marlon, you make peace with your decision. You become prepared, and then you just accept it and try to enjoy your new surroundings, which for me would be the Philippines. J Bud says you're moving there to die. Well, no, and I'm being real practical, J Bud. I wasn't trying to compare it to, contrast it with living. It's just that, I had a funeral or a burial plot in the cemetery where my family is buried. And when my sister got cancer, she died like seven years ago. I bought her a plot in where the part of the cemetery where the Latvians are, and mine is right next to hers. Our father's is the closest to hers. She was closer to my dad, so I bought her a plot closer to his. My mother had, she's still alive. She's 86, and her plot is right there too. There's other relatives, so that's where I was planning on being buried. But years ago, I wasn't planning on marrying a Filipina, and it didn't look like I was going to get married at all. So I have to sell that plot eventually, and then move here. Plots can get expensive, so at that time, I bought one, and I'm sure it would cost more than it costs them. But really, I mean, this is it. I don't know what the condition. I do think about death a lot, not in a morbid sense, Jay Bud, but I do think about it in the sense that, you know, being a big sports fan, the clock is going to run out. Time is going to run out. And you can scramble at the end of the game and try to pull out a victory and then win, and you feel like you lost because you poured it on at the end after a bad start. Maybe you just weren't into the game, and so I'm in the fourth quarter now, as far as I can tell. I want to finish strong. I want to have a good attitude. I don't want to be complaining about stuff, and so I don't want to have regrets. Not because I want to be haphazard and careless, but because I want to think through things and make the move out here. By that time, my mother will have passed, and we'll only have an aunt who may not even be alive, and her son, and that's it. No reason to stay in the United States. So, yeah, when I say coming here to die, it's just meaning to say that would be the last phase of my life, and I'd want to make it a really good phase of my life. I'm not being negative about that. Big E and Cebu, that's the problem, Jay Bud. In a nutshell, most come to die and become drunken fools. I know Bob is being extremely diligent in weighing all this, so I'm sure it'll work out either way. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, no, could be somebody to say, I'm going to eat, drink, and then I'm going to be merry and die. That's not, I know that's not what you were referring to, Jay Bud, but if you're coming here and you should be aware of the fact, you should be aware of mortality. I mean, and especially because we don't know when that clock is going to be at zero. So for some people, it's, I better hurry up and find a wife, Filipina, if that's what I'm interested in, because I'm getting up there in my 50s or 60s or 70s, and life has more to offer than, being alone. I mean, I'd rather, die with her here in the Philippines than die alone anywhere else. So it's just another way to express that this will be the end of my lifespan, I assume, if I'm still alive at retirement, to come here and spend out the rest of my days, but not laying around. That's why I did a video on things I plan on doing here in the Philippines during retirement, because I don't want to come here and I don't drink or anything like that, but I don't want to come here and just live out my days, play out the string of days. I want my life to change in some way for the better here in the Philippines at that time. We'll see. And I like to have a YouTube channel. Maybe there's some, involvement with the church that we would go to. I don't know. I don't know yet. That's way out there. I do know I don't want to come here and just do videos and nothing else. Going there to die is not literal. It means it figuratively. It's a figure of speech. But yet, there is some truth to that. I'm going out here to live, and to live the best life, hopefully, that I've ever had. But yet I realize there's only a limited amount of space for that to happen. My dad died, my sister died at 51 from cervical cancer. My dad died at 55. He had a stroke, heart attack. Now, my grandmother was 93, my mother is 86, so there may be some longevity maybe on the women's side, not the men's side. But then my sister didn't live long, so who knows? Who knows? I'm not like Keith Richards, people that can seemingly be indestructible. I mean, just all the surgeries I've had, the way my knee and my foot is responding. Yeah. Are you calling me, hon? Jason. Jason. Oh, God. Sometimes it's hard to tell who's calling who out here. I don't know if we're going to be eating here together soon, but there's a lot of rustling going on over there in the kitchen. Let's see here. I'm going to catch up here. Oh, yeah. Let me see if I can show this comment here. I'm using a laptop, not something I'm used to doing. Hank says it's a typical boomer mentality, Big E, traveling at sea to Southeast Asia to drink yourself to death. I'm not like that, thankfully. That would be a sad existence. I mean, you want to have purpose. Big E's going back to the States with a plan, I'm sure, and a purpose, goals, not just for himself, but for his family. I think Aiza would be happier here. I'm willing to try to adapt here, but I still need something to do myself, so that I look forward to getting up every day with the roosters crowing and the dogs barking and the music blasting, and have something worthwhile to do. And right now it's all kind of fuzzy because you can plan and think ahead, but you can't get too far ahead. And so you just try to stay within those bounds. Jay Bud, the fourth quarter, at least shoot for overtime. Well, Keith Richards right now, I think he's about the 10th overtime. In football, it would be called sudden death. You know, when you've dodged a bullet so many times. In fact, I saw a great video up here. And hi, Precious. Is that your noise? Can you play that for me? Can you blow into that? I don't know if she knows how to do that noisemaker. I watched on the plane on the 11.5-hour flight. There was a documentary on Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. And David Crosby was the main person they were doing the documentary on. And I like some of that music because it's got that 60s feel to it, 60s vibe. I like that a lot. And because I grew up listening to music in the 60s. So I like that, even some 50s actually. But I didn't know much about David Crosby or his groups. I knew he had some physical problems, but he's in his, I don't know when that came out. So he's probably, if he's still alive, is in his mid to upper 70s. I don't know how recent it was. I don't know if the man is still alive. But his singing voice was amazing. In his 70s, they were playing some songs. And I was absolutely floored. You talk about a guy, that's not taking care of himself. He got married. I think he married a younger woman who loves him dearly, and said, she doesn't know what she would do when that day comes that he dies. She really loves him, and his singing voice is outstanding, probably as good as ever. And usually that's not the way it works when you get older. But yeah, that was a fascinating. I like watching, documentaries of these rock stars that I grew up with. That was fascinating. Big E, Big E says, I'm heading into a meeting. Bob and Jay Bud got to run. God bless you. Interesting topic. Well, yeah, we don't want to beat this drum too much here, but it's just kind of what's been on my mind. I wanted to talk to people before the end of the year, and I don't know. I appreciate the thumbs up. I don't know when we'll do the next live stream, but we'll still be here in the Philippines. I didn't send out an announcement in the newsletter because I wasn't sure what the conditions were going to be like here today. But lovebeyondthesea.wordpress.com is a wonderful site that Mr. E put together for the channel. It's got everything on there. A community corner message forum. I'd like to see more interest in over time, and people can communicate with direct messages and topics in the lifestyle lounge, relationship lounge, and that would be something that in the future people could avail themselves to, and who are interested in finding a wife from another country. Maybe you can change the words of songs to prop me up next to the karaoke box. Well, there's probably, I don't think we're doing, well, we can do karaoke now. We might do some. Are we doing karaoke tonight, huh? No. We will. See, we have this beautiful 65-inch smart TV It's smarter than any of the TVs we have back home. Hi, Precious, Baby Shark, Prince Gian, my Aiza. So we can do all that right here. We got speakers, a couple big speakers there. We got a cooler, portable cooler. We got the big screen. So probably have to tape that. May have to come with a warning, only for mature audiences. If you're going to hear me sing, that might not be for everybody, but I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun. It will be nice and loud, but that's probably that one day a year where it's just everybody's going to be playing loud music tonight. Simple Life Philippines, glad to see you here. Yes, you get your scooter or a bike, you'll get used to the traffic. But it's a little freedom and adventure. Adventure, that's for sure. Man, we're out going to Carnival yesterday. So many close calls, always, but never seen any fender benders or anybody get hurt. But I think I'll be satisfied with, we can get rides pretty easily here. We'll have 3 scooters in the family, just a phone call away. They've been very nice getting me around when I need to go somewhere. Usually we're packing about 6 or 7 of us into that sidecar and going around town. Really pack them in there. Show the TV, that's the real star. Show the TV. Oh, it is the star. It's not, it's resting right now. I don't know how big it looks. Yes, we. Okay. I will. Okay. There's the TV. We're gonna move in the bedroom. Oh.
It's noisy and a lot of people.
Okay, sweet. Okay. Can you get the door for me, huh?
Huh?
Can you get the door for me? Tripped over my coffee. All right. Can you? Okay. Got the air con on. That's good. All right. We're moving in the bedroom. If you're still here with me. Oh, this is my headquarters out here. Put the laptop on the green leather sofa. So, I mean, here it is. I think it's about not quite 9 o'clock here in the morning. And we're starting to get some people moseying in and out. So it's going to get a little more crowded, but that's just appreciate the thumbs up. This is your life in the province. The music is bearable outside, and we got family around. Again, not advised for everybody, but my wife wanted to try this, and maybe she thinks I'm good at adapting. I don't know, but so far so good. Yeah, the TV is a real deal. It's a 65-inch TV. I made her buy it before she got back in January because she didn't want to spend the money. And I said, well, I want to treat the family to a really big TV and a real nice one. They can do the Roku and the smart TV and whatever all that stuff is about. So it's really cool. I'm here in the bedroom, which is on the opposite side of the living room. And you can sit out in the hallway here and see the TV just fine. So we don't have to have people in the living room. The TV is so big, you can sit out in the hallway and relax and play on your phone or watch the TV or read something or whatever. So we got plenty of room around here, probably at a comfortable capacity for a number of people around here. Uh-oh, the signal is getting weaker. It's probably my signal. So Simple Life Philippines, glad you're here. I appreciate that. Yeah, I can't tell from over here. We started, it looks good, looks fine here. Started outside on the porch and then went to the living room and over here. So is there anything else anyone wants to talk about retirement? Anybody still thinking about retiring there? Is anybody thinking to themselves, I'm never going to retire there. I don't care, how anyone tries to convince me it's too far away and it's too hot. Well, it's not hot all the time. you know, but I mean, March, April, May, it's not like that all the time. That's sweltering heat. And I think it's been very bearable here in December. Um, it hasn't rained yet since we've been here. Rain was in the forecast every day before we got here. Uh, yeah. But I mean, if it's a nice day, you can even go out there and like underneath the carport. So if we had a party or something, we would set up chairs and tables out underneath the carport. Kind of cool. You can sit out there if we do get one of those rains. Hopefully the signal is still working. This is probably day 5, starting in Manila. We spent the day there. I went to a few cities, and now we're in the house. I do have a video on my phone of my first time seeing the house when we got there late at night. It's on my phone, and we cannot get anything to go to Google Photos while we're in the Philippines. My wife hasn't been able to. I haven't been able to. When we come back, hopefully it'll show up there, and I can download it to the computer. I don't know how to upload it from my just using my phone, but I don't want to think about that. But I'll have it, and hopefully some more to work on when I get back. Jay Bud says the signal has been perfect, so that's good. I've seen other people's lives where it has been more of an issue, but I'm glad that you can see me clearly and hopefully hear me clearly now that I'm out of the living room. So this is just real provincial married life with family around. I think it's what the Filipina would dream about, but not insist on. I think when she's living out here, she just wants to live close enough where she can visit her family, you know, anytime she wants. So the thought of being so far away as to just kind of make it too uncomfortable for the Filipina or some of her family, you know, to visit her, that's not a good idea, because you must keep in mind how important the family is. The other day, I came out here in the morning after the roosters woke me up, and I about tripped over a mattress on the floor in the hallway there, and one of her sisters was sleeping on the mattress, and I didn't even know it was there. I wasn't expecting that. So I don't know. I didn't ask why. So interesting dynamics here, because as I mentioned in the video this morning, I have to respect other people's space too. I can't say, hey, listen to me, everybody, I'm the man of the house. I help pay for this place. I've lived most of my life. You know, this could be sudden death or overtime. I'm going to do things my way. No, I can't come in here and throw my weight around. I have to be respectful of people's what they're doing, and like I said, if they don't have the fan on in the hallway, maybe I should leave it off. If they're not running the cooler, maybe I should leave it off if I wasn't the one in there. If they're comfortable without that, then I don't know. I don't want to stir up waves. I just think we have to live in harmony, and they've certainly been amenable to me and helpful to me, and they always take care of whatever I need, and so I need to be good to them too. Aiza's got a very good family, and if you have a chance to meet the Filipinas family, you know, I think you can learn something about how she was raised. Okay, I'm glad the signal's been good. Jay Bud says, Texas isn't just around the corner, so you're getting out there on your live. Well, that's good. I mean, this is, I don't know how good or how old this HP laptop is, but I've never used it before, and it's a little bit different than using your computer. You can be firm, but also respectful. Yeah, Hank, I know what you're saying. That's what I'm trying to do is avoid the disrespect. In the case of the guy blasting the music at jet plane levels, takeoff levels, you just kind of have to grit your teeth and hope that's not going to be the norm. I would think that the locals are probably hesitant to go over there and say anything, and you can be polite about it if you want to. Hey, do you mind turning down that volume? you know, I've lost half my hearing already. No, don't say that. But yeah, there's probably a way to be firm but respectful, even in a situation like that with the music. And so what I would do, probably first of all, is say, ask my wife, to say, "Hon, what should I do? Should I say anything? What? No. Are you going to eat? Are we eating soon? Oh, so you're waiting for me to eat? Okay. All right. I think it's considered breakfast. I already had a couple chunky peanut butter sandwiches, but Aiza wants to eat some more. Thank you for the thumbs up. I'm going to have to go because they're ready to eat. And if I don't go, I'm going to be disrespectful. And I don't want to do that. So we'll just wrap this up here. Hank says, because it's your house and you're the man there, they respect power and authority. Look who they elected president. Yeah, I know. I wish I could talk more about that, but they're waiting for me. Terrence says Filipinos are used to the Pinoys sending mistresses. Most of them are okay with it. Don't hurt to ask her if it's okay. Just throw a few mattresses down. Yeah. Well, I've enjoyed this time together. First live stream from Davao City, Philippines. I'm glad it went well. And I'm thankful to each and every one of you for joining me here and for your comments and everything. And you guys have it's just, for you, it's the 30th still, so you won't be celebrating till another day. We'll be doing that tonight. We'll try to have some film from that. So glad you're with us to see how things are where we live here temporarily. And until next time, this is Bob for the family on Love Beyond the Sea.